Okay, today we're going to do a video on absolute value, but inequalities. We've done equations already, now we're doing inequalities. All right, it's basically your work at a compound inequality. You're going to have two inequality problems because absolute value, always has two answers because you're looking at the distance to zero from both sides, right? All right. One thing about inequalities, you know how on a compound inequality, if it's and, then your arrows are going to be pointing inward most of the time. If it's an or, it's going to be pointing in opposite directions most of the time. With absolute value, if you have an absolute value that's greater than or equal to or greater than, just say you have this, or if you have this, if it's greater than, then it's going to be an or. Okay, so they're going to be, your graphs are going to be going the opposite directions. If it's less than or equal to, then it's going to be an and. All right, so your graph is going to be in between two numbers. They're both going to be pointing inward. Okay, so that'll kind of give you a hint of what your graph's going to look like before you even start the problem. All right. One other thing about inequalities that I you is that if you have an inequality that once you've got everything down and the yards cleaned up and everything, and it's still equaling a negative, then it's no solution. Okay? If I have something on the outside, just say like I had negative 2 times 3x equals negative 5. I'd have to clean up my yard first, right? So let's change that to a 6. So I'll divide by negative 2. So then I'd have absolute value of 3x equals negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. This is okay. You can go ahead and split and work it out. It's just if it equals a negative and nothing's in the yard or the basement, then it's no solution. Okay, just wanted to remind you of that. I think I told the classes, but total virtual, I don't remember if I told y'all or not. I think I might have added something the next day on the stream, but I want to make sure that everybody's aware of that, okay? All right, let's see. All right, let's look at the notes. All right, steps to solve. Okay, it's normal. We're going to isolate the absolute value expression, meaning we'll clean up the yard. Basement, can't have anything around it. And then we're going to create two cases. In this KISS method, you can do that if you want to, but just split it and you're going to work each side. And we're going to go over some. All right, so let's just look at the first one. The absolute value of x is less than 7. Okay, nothing's in the yard, right? And it's not a negative, so we're just going to split it. X is less than 7. X is, what do we do with the other side? On an inequality, what do you think we're going to have to do? You know how we always changed it to a negative? Well, we're going to flip the sign and change it to a negative. Okay? So these would be your two answers. So on a number line, you would have negative 7, open circle, positive 7, open circle. This says it's greater than, this says it's less than. Okay? And Remember, this is a less than at the beginning, which means it's going to be an and. Okay. Interval notation is parentheses because we don't have any closed circles, right? So negative 7, 7, just like the number line, same order. Okay. All right. Let's look at number 4. The absolute value of x plus 2 is less than or equal to 7. Okay. All right. My yard's cleaned up. There's nothing out to the sides or below. So we're good. And it's not a negative. Okay. It's not a negative. So we're good. We're going to go ahead and split. We're going to do 2 separate problems. We're going to write it just like it says without the absolute value bars. And then we're going to write it the beginning just like it says. We're going to reverse the sign and do the opposite. Okay? Reverse the sign and put the opposite down. So now we're going to work and solve. Minus 2, so x is less than or equal to 5. Minus 2, so x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Okay? So on a number line, we've got 5 and we have negative 9. They're both solid circles, and the x is less than 5 and the x is greater than negative 9. All right? So this was a less than problem, so it means it's going to be an and problem, so we're good. Okay? I wanted to see if there's one on here where we have to flip a couple of times. Let's see. Let's look at I don't see one like that. Let's look at number 6. Okay. So we've got x plus 3 minus 1 is less than 5. So our yard's not cleaned up. We got this minus 1 out to the side, so we're going to add 1. So now we've got absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 6. Okay? So it's not a negative number. My yard is clean, so I can split. This says less than, so that means I'm going to have an and. It's an and compound. It's going to be pointing inward, same. Okay? So we're going to split. X plus 3 is less than 6. X plus 3. All right, we're going to flip it in the opposite. Flip it in the opposite. So now we're going to solve. X is less than 3. There was minus 3 minus 3. X is greater than negative 9. Number line. Open circle at negative 9. Open circle at 3. And 3 is less than, 9 is greater than, so it's in between. We said it was an and, so we're good. All right. Look at number 9. 10 times, remember it's right up against it, so that means we're multiplying. 10 times the absolute value of x minus 4 minus 3 is greater than 47. Okay, so let's get rid of the stuff in the yard. So minus 3, we're going to add 3. So 10 times x, absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than 50. Okay, 10 is multiplying, so we're going to divide. So now I got the absolute of x plus x minus 4 is greater than 5. Okay, so this is a greater than problem. So that means it's going to be not an and, but an or. So they're going to be pointing the opposite directions. Okay? All right, so our yard's clean and it's not a negative, so I can split. X minus 4 is greater than 5. X minus 4, what is it going to be? Right, flip it, negative 5. Okay, so add 4. And we got x is greater than 9, and x is less than negative 1. Y'all don't forget your sides when you're doing that. Okay, so on a number line, losing my voice. We've got 9, and whoops, don't like that. We've got negative 1, and we've got 9. All right, this says that all my solutions are bigger than, because this is a big end here, bigger than, open circle, 9. And this says all my solutions, small n, are smaller than negative 1's, open circle, this way. All right, interval notation on this. When you have an OR problem where they're splitting the opposite direction, you're going to have 2 interval notations. All right, so it's going to be in the same order as it is on the number line. I don't have any solid circles, so that means they're all going to be parentheses. Okay, so we can go ahead and do that. And on this one, the negative 1's on the right. On this one, the 9 is on the bottom, to the left, so we can do that. This way is positive infinity. This way is negative infinity. Okay? All right. And let's do, we may do 2 more. Look at number 8. Let's see. Number 8. All right. 4x minus 8, absolute value, is divided by negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 6. All right, so we've got something in the basement we need to get rid of. This negative 2 is dividing, so we're going to come over here and multiply. If I multiply, they cancel out. So I've got the absolute value, 4x minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Okay, so yard's clean and it's not a negative, so we can go ahead and do the split. All right, so so we have 4x is less than 20, x is less than or equal to 5. So this would be 4x is greater than or equal to negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. So x is greater than or equal to negative 1. On a number line, we have negative 1. It says x is greater than or equal to. So solid circle pointed inward. And this one is at a 5. It says x is less than, solid circle pointing inward. So everything in between here, and including the number 5 and negative 1, would be a solution to this problem. It would make it true. Okay? All right, let's look at this one. Let's look at number 10 and we'll be done on the... Okay, lovely fraction. 1/2 times 4x minus 4 plus 11 is less than or equal to 15. Okay, we'll do my pluses and minuses first when I'm cleaning up the yard. So I'm going to subtract 11. All right, so now this is gone. And this is now 4. I didn't want to run out of room, y'all. All right, so now I need to get rid of 1/2. That's multiplying So what I can do is divide, which is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. Flip it. So this is gone. So absolute value of 4x minus 4 is less than or equal to 8. Okay. All right, so everything's clean. This is not a negative on the right, so I can split. So 4x minus 4 is less than or equal to 8. And on the right, you're going to put 4x minus 4. We're going to reverse this, okay? And we're going to make this the opposite, so negative 8. Okay? So again, that's the only thing you do different with the, of course you remove the absolute value bars, but you reverse the sign and make the opposite, okay? All right, so we're going to solve. So 4x is less than or equal to 12, x is less than or equal to 3. And then on this side, add 4. 4x is greater than or equal to negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Divide by 4. Now that's a negative, but I don't flip it. A lot of you are doing that. It's only if this was negative. Okay? It's only if you're multiplying or dividing your variable. Doesn't mean that anything's new. Okay? So x is greater than negative 1. Okay, number line. And we're going to have 3, solid circle, all numbers smaller than, and then negative 1, solid circle. This is all numbers larger than. Okay? So everything in between once again. All right, so just remember, clean everything up in the yard. Your absolute value cannot be less than or equal to, or can it not equal negative, okay? If it does, it's no solution. Once you've got the yard cleaned up, then you're going to split. Remember that the only thing that you do different on the right-hand side is reverse that inequality sign and make that number, as always, the opposite. Okay? All right. I did almost all the problems on your notes. And just, if y'all would, on this notes and videos, be sure to click turn in. Even though it's not a grade or anything, it lets me know that you're done with that and you don't have anything sitting there saying missing. You have the homework was HW worksheet that goes along with this. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot. Oh, wait. I got one more thing. I hope y'all stayed on. Virtual, look on your stream. I've got an announcement on Fridays from 11 to 12. I think that was the time, 11 to 12. I'll do a Google Meet. You can come on there if you've got any questions or anything. It's kind of like my office hours. All you have to do is on your Google Classroom where your assignments are, at the top of the page, it's got a little camera and says Meet. Just click on that between 11 and 12, and I've already got it open. You'll come on, and I can just say, hey, Miss Lane. So if I'm doing something else, I'll come. You get my attention, okay? All right. Thanks, guys.